Let's go.
Episode 2.
Janana, welcome back. Welcome back to T&J. Hey. That was like a little Destiny's Child.
Yeah. It was like, where my girls at?
Yeah.
From front to the back.
Oh my God.
I don't know what song that
get me
is.
started.
Sound like the Parkers. It was crazy. That was in my head.
Don't get me started on Miss Beyonce. Hey, runaway love. Where did that come from?
When I was singing it before we started.
Okay, got it. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
That's so funny how like a song that somebody else was singing and then you sing. We do that all the time.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
It's like, where did it come from?
Me.
You were singing it. You.
Me.
Yeah.
But hello, everyone.
Welcome
to the second episode of T&J's Child's Play.
Yeah. Run it.
I don't know why I did that. It's probably very obnoxious to whoever's listening. But yes, we're back for a second episode. First episode was fun, reflecting.
Yeah, a lot of reflecting.
Yeah, absolutely. And with reflecting, we have to reflect back on the times when we didn't know each other, when we were children.
This is true. I wonder what you were like as a child. I've heard stories from your mom.
Yeah. I was an interesting child.
Didn't much excite her, as a child. She's always been like that. That's what your mom said. She's always been like that.
Yeah. I feel like even from a child, well, from me being a child, I feel like I kind of knew how to protect my inner self. You
just gonna dive right in?
I just knew how to do that.
Let's do it.
I knew how to do that from an early age. So a lot of people
protect your inner self. What do you mean by that?
Like, I know that my personality, or I thought my personality wouldn't mesh well with the typical normal kids or normal social groups that I was exposed to.
Gotcha.
So I just knew how to be like, all right, hey, kind of show a different side of myself.
What did that look like? What was normal? I guess what would you classify as like a normal child? You know what I mean? Compared to you.
I know we're getting deep already.
You started it.
I don't know, because you brought up my mom and what my mom said.
Well, we're talking about parental influence. Welcome to episode 2. We're talking about parental influence.
Ooh, we need a therapist right here.
No, we don't. That would make me cry for real.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Don't be afraid to cry, guys.
I'm not. I mean, I feel like a lot of kids that were like me, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I was a quiet kid." I mean, I kind of was to a certain extent.
Yeah.
A lot of my personality just came out at home, like with my sister.
Yeah.
Like, she knew the real me from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. Both sisters, but more the middle child because she was always around.
So where did that protecting, I guess, come from? Was that like incidents or things that happened, or did you experience like other kids and like how they were like treated and you were like, hey, let's protect Jada?
Exactly. It's another kind of defense mechanism that I kind of took into when we first met. Like, yeah, I am going to learn from other people's experiences. We know the pros and cons of that,
right?
But I knew that at a very early age. And then my parents were older. Yeah. So their type of parenting compared to everybody else's parenting of the peers that were around me were totally different. Okay. So I'm not even going to say that I was more mature because I was still a kid, but right. My viewpoints of childhood was just different.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah. And
your parents were older, so that means that you have siblings that are also
older. Also older. So it was like having 4 parents.
Can we just talk about how, and this is a great conversation to have because the dynamic is different, how you as the last child were probably given certain things.
Yeah.
And bypassed on a lot of certain things versus the first child.
I'll tell you this, my oldest sister and you have a lot in common.
I wonder why. Because she was the first child.
Yes.
Nothing against the parents.
Very type A, I am going to make sure that I have all of my ducks in a row. gonna figure everything out that I need to figure out, and I don't have time to be negative. I'm just gonna get all of these things done, and that is it.
Well, it didn't come from just saying that I'm going to come out the womb and I'm going to be a type A person. I'm going to have everything figured out and make sure it's to the T. That came from
experiences.
Parents. Yeah, experiences, expectations, and things. Yes, it did. And you, my friend, and I'm not saying that you had it easy, but I'm just saying for that first child.
Let me tell you. I know I did.
Oh, you know you had it easy.
Oh, I know I had it easier. I mean, I'm not going to say, Lord Jesus, I don't know until these people business. But, we talk about it freely all the time. Erica grew up, I said Erica. I don't know if you want to, we might have to leave her name up. My oldest sister grew up for her first 6-7 years in the hood.
Okay.
So, fair. She just had a different upbringing,
right.
Just seeing different things. Even my middle sister, oldest sister, they've seen different things. They've experienced life totally different than me.
Right.
And, I love hearing about the stories. We're going to get into it. Some of the stories that I'm hearing now is oh, my God, thank God you guys didn't tell me.
Things our parents shelter us from. That's
just
funny.
like I said, we're talking about journeys within this podcast.
Right.
All three of my sisters have different journeys.
Yeah.
And different ways and reasons of why we are the way we are.
Yeah. You are. Now, I'm not going to say you had it easy, but you had it easier.
Yeah.
Okay. I am the first child.
Yeah.
Okay. From my parents. And like you said about your sister, it is tough. You know what I mean? You're the first. Your parents are experiencing a lot of things with raising a child. You are the first. So expectations.
They're learning how to become parents.
They're stepping into a new role and learning different things. But it's a little more strict than it is for you as the third,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You privileged child.
Oh, yeah. Definitely privileged, spoiled.
Yeah.
Any of those words you want to say. Hey, it's cool. But still had older parents. So the line in the stand, I knew the line in the sand.
Right.
Some of my friends didn't know they line.
Yeah.
And some of their parents didn't care.
Give me an example.
It's so many examples.
Okay.
Which one do I want to start with?
Pick one.
We could just talk about college in general.
Yeah.
You just knew those type of people. And I'm not even I'm gonna put friends aside. People I weren't even friends with. We both talked about it. Within the first couple of weeks, we could just tell who had what type of parents.
Yeah.
Oh, your parents were so freaking strict.
Right.
Now you're acting crazy like a little bunny hopping around here.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you. Oh, your parents were chill, cool, and laid back. So you probably did all of the stuff that we are experiencing and doing right now. So you're probably sick and tired of that and really trying to get an education. But so experienced, but we can still tell that you experiencing the crazy stuff that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
You can just tell in different scenarios. And I'm I can definitely tell how people had their upbringing.
Yeah. This is true.
And some people did the 54 fake out and I didn't even know. Some people didn't have parents at all. Some people parents passed away and I didn't even know that either.
Yeah.
And they were very well kept.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Probably just, trying to make their parents proud and not doing crazy things. I don't want to
go deep into detail of some of the crazy stuff that I've seen.
Yeah.
But you could just tell where their parents probably were at.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough being the first kid. And I'm not going to say that it was terrible, but I'm dang, let up a little bit. But my parents, they had their foot on my neck.
Yeah.
They did. But I thank them for it.
Yeah.
Now just being grown, then I probably oh my gosh, I am ready to leave the house and be grown and be on my own and experience life and experience all the things that they talked about. I remember, and I think I told you this too, well, when you get grown, you gonna want to come back home. And I'm And I don't think I did really, because I mean, I don't know. It feels different when you are away from home. You know, when you're home, you are their kid, you're their son, you're their daughter, and you know, sometimes that role reverts back when you arrive back home, and it's like, hey, I'm not 18-year-old Trey, I'm 25-year-old Trey. Yes, I'm still figuring out life, but like, I'm not a kid anymore. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's a I don't want to say a love-hate thing. It's a pro and con thing. But no, I do think them from my experience. I feel like you are a product of your environment. Yeah. And, you know, I say this all the time. I could do nothing without a plan. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I'm like...
I don't know. We'll probably touch bases more on this, too, later in the episode. But something that stuck out with what my mom said, like, about probably a couple months ago. We were just talking about old stories. I love listening to her old stories about just her life in general. Has an amazing life story, even though she probably doesn't think it's that interesting. I think so. But she basically was just talking about the trajectory between each generation and how each generation is just trying to do a little bit more to push their children forward. And she was like, yeah, with her current situation, well, not current situation, previous situation, she went through a couple of things. But she tried to make sure that we had at least like 80% more than what she had. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Yeah, but let's still debunk that. Yeah. And I told you, we already had conversations on some of the subjects that get touchy for her, but I think she did a hell of a great job.
Yeah, yeah.
Raising 3 daughters.
Yeah, and I think that's what any parent wants for their child. You know, I feel like my parents gave me more than what their parents, you know, gave them. And I think in return of like, I would like to do more, you know, than what my parents,
that's the goal,
you know, gave me. And I think that's, like you said, that's the goal. Each generation, like, it gets better and it evolves over time. And, you know, before you know it, y'all sitting in $1 million houses. Yeah.
Generational wealth.
That's the goal for me.
I feel like that's every black, African American families, you know, goal. To get some of that.
We dream about, are we putting in the work for it? Okay.
That part too.
What are you doing to get to that point, to where you would like to be?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm living in my dream right now. I sigh because it's work. I sigh because I'm not happy with it. I sigh because it's work. That's the only reason why I sigh. Yeah, but you know, going back to the plan piece, I couldn't do anything without a plan. I always had to have a plan of what it is I'm doing, where I'm going, how long I'm going to be there, who I'm going to be there with, who's picking us up, who's taking us back. I had to have a plan and everything. And like I said, you are a product of your environment. And in return, I do nothing. My work, my career, business, everything involves a plan. Yeah. And when I first started and working with other people, event planning, it was all a plan. And I'm like, yo, that is so crazy how it just comes full circle. It kind of makes me throw up a little bit. And I'm like, dang, the thing that drove me crazy as a kid is something that I do every day in my life. Yeah. I roll, but it's making me money, so I can't complain. I can't complain about that.
But let's touch more on that, on parenting styles. Mm-hmm. You kind of touch bases on it a little bit. I just want everybody to hear your perspective of some of the conversations that we've had about the parenting styles that you experienced growing up in the Lion household.
Well, what part?
What do you want to do?
What part? I mean, just throw something at me, because I'm
bad, ugly. No, there's nothing ugly about that.
But what?
Yeah, it's a very broad question.
That's so many pieces. Where do you want me to start?
Let's see.
Like, does anything ring a bell of what I've like brought up or talked to you about?
Yeah, I mean, you always talk about the execution and the plan. You always had to come, if you came with
prepared.
Something, you had to be there with a plan.
Yeah.
But let's see. You know what? Actually, let's see. What were some of the things that they did to bring out some of your character? Like, what were some of the things that they did to say, hey, let's see what he actually likes to do? Were they ever supportive in that way?
Yeah, I think so. I think for me, like, I more so showed it than them asking or prompting for me to see interest. For the longest time, I was doing like sports, like even so, like I was like younger of like playing sports, and it was cool. Football, you know, like that was all right. I mean, I made it do what it do. Boo! You know, made it do what it do. But when I say boo, that's implying me contact and hitting someone.
It made me think of, yes, I said it has been.
Has been. Hang it up, flat screen.
Yeah, you said boo. That was very Barbie.
I'm sorry.
That was very, I'm a Barb.
It goes with the pillows. TJ Child's Play.
Child's Play. Oh, Young Money, Cash Money.
Ooh, Young Money, Cash
We're cutting that out. YMCMB. Who's messing with Drake and Nicki?
All right, please.
Back to parenting.
They not like us.
That's crazy. Hey yo,
no,
this is the craziest OVO supporter ever.
Hey, no, I love Drake. Okay, but that Kendrick track was kind of high.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, people are still using it.
But I love Drake.
Back to
what was I talking about?
Sports,
yes. So a lot of sports, baseball, football, basketball. What else did I play? Who knows? I had posters in my room of like the sports and stuff, and they definitely went with the aesthetic. I had a fan that was the what do you call those things?
What?
Not blades. What do you call the fan pieces?
Fan pieces? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Well, those things, the things that stick out and produce the motion produces the fan. Those were baseballs. In the middle was like a glove and like a ball in the middle. And the ball was the light.
Did you ever watch baseball?
No.
That's crazy. They went crazy on your room.
No, but it was cool. Like it was cool. I mean, I liked it, whatever. And did I paint my room at some point? I think my room. See you painting I think room. I painted my. Well, I don't know if I painted my room. I want to say it was blue the whole time.
Okay.
Dang, that felt like a long time ago. Wow. But yeah, sports. Getting involved, physical contact, things like that, and I got to a point of where I was just like, I don't know if I really want to do this. But the thing that my parents, and it's the same thing for my sister now, and I'm like, yes, similarities. Cause I'm like, did y'all really let her slide on this? Yes, my parents, if you're watching this, I'm man at the kitchen table gave her the answer. Do you know how long I sat at the kitchen table?
That's so sad.
To figure something out? Do you know? All night long, all night. I sat all night to figure out a problem. You had to figure it out. And so when I saw them giving the answer, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, again, that was younger Trey responding to that. I'm like, bro, there's no way. There's no way. Bring it back, full circle. Bring it back. Sports. And I was like, I don't know if I'm really feeling this, but that is a thing that they did not allow me to do. And I see that in my adult life. I don't quit on anything. And they don't allow her to quit on anything, my sister. So you had to follow through with it, because I think it was like football. I'm like, yo, I don't really know if I'm feeling this, y'all. Like, I don't know if I really want to do this. And it's like, well, you already committed to the season. We already got your uniform and stuff like that. Like, you have to finish this thing out. And so I did. And I think I even like ended up like getting hurt or whatever. Like, I had a slip in like my hip and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, you're not really interested in that. Well, what things are you interested in doing? Because you're not about to sit around the house and do nothing. So you had to do something, and you had to be involved in some type of extracurricular. And I think I introduced him. I'm like, hey, what about drama club? What about that? Hey, jazz finger.
I see you come up to them. I want to be in a play.
No, seriously. But I did. I really did. And I think that started from like younger years. And like, I know everybody joked Tyler Perry, but I love Tyler Perry. I love his work ethic. And like, I would watch his plays and stuff. And I think I was interested in doing that. And so I ended up joining the drama club. And then I think at a certain point, my parents, more so my dad specifically, because his dream was always to like play football and like, you know, go pro and like do all those things. So I think he wanted that for his son.
I tell you all the time, you know, I watch sports. You would have been a hell of a linebacker.
Yeah, but that just wasn't for me.
I know it wasn't for you, but I get why he was like, dang, that boy got the bill.
And probably,
you were probably knocking them out.
And probably, you know, now, like, I'll probably like, ooh, that'd be a great stress reliever. Let me knock you out. Because my life is stressful. But it just wasn't the path and things that I wanted to do. And so I think they realized that over time. They're like, okay, we have to let him pick what he's interested in and what he wants to do. When you're younger, you don't have a say so. Oh, I don't want to do this. Boy, go get your helmet and your baseball and get in the car because we going to practice. You don't really have a say so. You don't know what you're interested in. You don't know what you like. And some do, but for the most part, that's the start of it. My sister, she's involved in everything. Track, karate, basketball.
I just see her get her black belt. She
got her black belt. Like, she's involved.
I stopped at green.
I stopped when we ended up going to Japan in karate. But, you know, she's so well versed. I'm like, yo, how does she have the energy for that? But again, it's 25-year-old me looking at 13-year-old her. But when I was her age, I was doing all the same things. Not as evolved as she is and doing all of these sports and things. But I got to a point, it was like, no, this is what I really want to do. And I think they were like, okay, well, let's give that a shot. And with that, they were supportive with that as well. You know, they found different acting things for me to go to, different acting classes. I think, you know, the whole Disney thing. Hey, you want to be a child star. Yeah. You know, come to this, you know, convention, whatever. I was in front of hundreds of people auditioning different lines from, is it Soul Food? Is that a movie?
Yeah.
With Big Mama?
Yeah.
I did that scene of when they were in there and at the kitchen table.
And I didn't know that part. Wait a minute. So you went to the Disney convention?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a Disney convention, but it was like these, you know, the things of
Child Star convention.
Yeah, the Child Star. That sounds so like scamish.
And you did Soul Food, a scene from Soul Food,
and I cried on stage on cue.
I gotta see it. You don't gotta
it's not on video. It is not on footage.
I used to see like a 10-year-old Trey.
Yeah. I don't even think I was 10 years old. I think I was older than that. I'm like, why are y'all fighting? Like, that was me. I was, Big Mama would not want this.
It's just the visual.
Yes. I did that. And so, and I did different acting classes and things, and you're going to laugh. Okay. But I even like, okay, and you have to keep this in mind, right? Because I'm sure she's going to laugh because this is me now right. With a deeper voice. You know, me now being 25-year-old me now hearing me sing in the car and like miss the high notes completely. Are you done?
I love this episode.
So, my dad was like, yeah, maybe we should like even put you in like some singing lessons because I went, I could sing.
Should have been anything like that. They put me, you know, I'm going to tell my story too. I was in a whole choir. Keep on going. Singing my little 7-year-old heart out. Probably sounded horrible.
And I actually sounded good. One, okay, because I used to get teased in middle school. I got teased in middle school because my voice was so high. It was high. My voice dropped later in life, and it sometimes it still get a little high. You know what I'm saying? Like it does, but it wasn't as developed then, and I could sing really well. She's gonna laugh. I promise you, I could.
I can believe it though.
I can sing it now.
You showed me old pictures. I'm like, yeah, he probably could sing.
She's just a hater. And somebody say, you look like you can sing. What does that mean? Do I look like I'm supposed to be in a choir? Do I look like I'm supposed to be in the back with the chicken?
You remember you showed us a picture of you in front of your church, I think, with a tile.
That was a talent show, and I was singing in the talent show.
Hello, people. Hello.
That was a talent show. And I sung, oh my God, I'm going to get canceled. I sung R. Kelly, I Believe I Could Fly.
I'm not getting canceled for that. Everyone sung that.
Yeah, I sure did. And I'm sure my voice squeaked a little bit.
It's okay.
I was singing in the auditorium in front of so many people. And I'm sure my parents have the footage somewhere. Whew. If I could take that away.
Footage of soul food.
If I could take that away.
You're fine with that.
They might have footage of that. I need to ask my parents if they have that. Okay, full circle here. Where was I at? I went to so many different things.
Oh, we were talking about if your parents supported.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So they definitely put me in different classes and things, for drama and arts and things like that. But after we went to Philly, and I went and auditioned. I did the soul food thing. After that, and it did not go well. I was like, nah, bro, I'm done. And I was so like defeated from that because I didn't get picked. They didn't, cast me for anything. But a lot of people came up to me after and he said, yo, he did so good in his audition. Like really good job. And my number was not called. Wow. So yeah, that was that. But my parents definitely did support me with that. And then they asked me, did I want to continue? And I'm sure if I would have said yes, they would have pushed me even more. Mm-hmm. And I probably would have been in a movie or something, who knows? But yeah, and then from there, I still just continued to do, drama club and things like that and get involved. And I did more so like behind the scenes because some stuff I got casted for and some stuff I didn't. And so, yeah. And then up until college. In college, my freshman year, I did a play.
You did do a play.
I played an old geezer with an erection.
I don't think I went to see that.
Yeah.
I think you invited us to I was like, yeah, I ain't seen no more plays because we had to take theater for communication class. And I already seen a play and I was like, I can't sit through another ODU play.
Yeah. It was not bad. I should find I don't even know if I have a photo, but I was this old man and I had these dreads with these big old glasses. And when I was on stage, I looked like this. And I had the big glasses, the big like focal glasses, like my eyes look big when you saw me.
Wow. Did your parents come and see?
They did come and see the play, and they were so happy, and they were like, when you came out with the balloon erection, they kind of caught us off guard, and I said, yeah, I'm sure it did. So imagine that in college, your freshman year, standing on stage
5 weeks in
as an old man with erection.
Man, you can't make these stories up, man.
Make my parents proud.
They were proud, though.
They were proud. And that was a cool moment. So yeah, they've always supported me with like the arts and things like that and what I wanted to do. So yeah, it was cool, but it definitely in the beginning, it was like, okay, we got to kind of shift to what he wants. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. What about you? What about your choir story? I didn't know that you sang in a choir. I'm learning so much.
Well, my mom more so because my dad really didn't care. My mom more so. She stopped trying to force me to do things at probably the age of 4.
Oh, you had it easy.
Because she put me in ballet. Yeah.
You in ballet?
Full blown ballet at like
a tutu?
At like 3 or 4 years old.
You had a tutu?
Tutu and all.
Did you stand on your toes like the pointy?
I don't know what I did. Oh, no. She said I stood in the corner and just looked at the other kids.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Because you know what? I can see them doing that because they're probably just trying to pull things out of you. And you just like, nah. I'm not feeling it.
Not doing that. So
Did you like do your hand like this?
I don't remember any of it.
That is crazy.
That was the first and last thing that she had to force me to do, and I probably didn't even know that I was doing it because I was so young.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I'm telling you, my parents were older, so like anything I wanted to do, they were like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All my interests I brought to them, like they were fine with.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I felt about the Joy Choir. It's like the kid choir at church.
Joy. Sorry.
I didn't really like that.
The choir.
Yeah, it was fun for like a couple
times. Did you not want to sing for Jesus?
It wasn't that. It was just singing in general. I have a great memory of singing though.
She does not have a great voice.
And my grandpa coming, R.I.P. Grandpa. He was my only grandparent I really knew, and he was really proud of seeing me one Sunday. Yeah, that's a great memory. But other than that, I was just up there.
What do you know? What crazy. Part of like the choir you were in? Like, what do they classify you as?
What, like alto and all that? No, it wasn't that advanced, honey. Okay. It was literally 50 kids up there every fourth Sunday.
Gotcha.
Singing 2 cute songs.
Did you ever do like the miming thing?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like never was a mime, never was a dancer, you know, was the contemporary. I didn't do any of that. I was just in the joy choir, and then I became a usher around, a youth usher around like 12.
Yeah, they probably was like, this is more her speed.
Yeah. It was definitely my speed. But yeah, other than those 2 things, everything else that I wanted to do, extracurricular wise, my mom supported and put me in.
Yeah.
Karate, soccer. I wanted to do stuff that was outside the norm.
Yeah. I can see that for
of you. What everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
It goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the episode. I really felt like I was a different kid.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I belonged.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I feel the same way. Like sports was cool, but it wasn't like really my thing. Yeah. And I can't say that I like really loved it or like enjoyed it. It was more so, okay, I'm doing this thing, or I got practice or whatever. Now it did, when I was, you know, younger, it did help like with managing my weight. It did do that. Because it was a lot of like physical exercise and equipment and like, you know, the conditioning and stuff and working out and 95 degree weather, and you got all this equipment on. My face, that was something I was insecure about as growing up as a kid, especially in middle school. From my helmet, my face was terrible. Like
acne wise?
Yeah, like I broke out so bad, like on my forehead. People used to bully me for that.
Damn.
Yeah. But I didn't care. All I did was crack jokes back.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
That's why I crack jokes so fast the way that I do. Oh my God, I just realized that. That is why I crack jokes so fast.
Yeah.
I had to defend myself.
You had to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, that is true.
Bringing it back to our childhood, children's selves. Can't ask too much about your childhood because you start crying.
No, let's go. Let's see what else you got. Come on. What else do you have? Miss Carson.
About our extracurriculars. I guess we can start getting into the nitty gritty. What are some things that your parents implemented, or styles your parents implemented, that you probably wouldn't implement if you had children?
I don't know. I feel like for me, like it was, there always had been like certain kids and people that could like share everything with their parents.
Yeah.
They could share everything. I mean, like, and the way that they talked to them was like their friends.
Never.
And I don't want to like be like my kid's friend.
We homies now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we good now. We have a drink together now.
But
you know what I'm saying?
I was a kid though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely get more into that. Cause like, some of the relationships I see between like some of my peers, friends, whatever, and their parents is like, whoa.
Yeah,
y'all lit over here.
Yeah, right. Like, oh my gosh, so cool. But those probably the people that are wilding out. Those probably the people who don't have no boundaries. Those probably are the people. Not to say that that is the case for everyone, but for me, that was not it. And I don't know. I think it's just me and my personality, like overall. But like, I don't know. It's just like can be like more like growing up as a kid, but. I don't know. Some conversations I'm like, I don't know if I want to, you know, have my parents talk about this, or are they going to ask me what's my plan with this? I don't know if I want to have this conversation. You know, can I just speak freely? So I definitely think that is something I would like want more of. Now, I don't want my child to think that I am their friend, but just like any conversation, like you can feel okay. I can't say that I'm like, yeah, let me just talk to him about this.
Yeah,
I had to have it together. Yeah.
That
is something.
Yeah.
What about for you?
For me, I would say affection. Like literally, me and my other sister, well, all of us, we're kind of similar in this way of, I don't know how to put it. Oh, how can I
just put it? No, you're trying to format it. Just put it.
Because my mom is just I can't say that she's very monotone, but she's not the like girliest of girls, you know. How can I put it? Like, I can't say that she's like very assertive. Well, yeah, I can say that she's kind of assertive, and she's kind of to the point. I'm gonna get this done, ABC kind of thing.
Yeah,
and that kind of rubbed off on us.
Yeah,
like we're not the, you know, we have to do this, we have to do that. Oh my God, we're so freaking feminine.
Yeah, like, but I think, like I said, your product environment. I see that in you, Jada.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I do. No, well, not. I'm saying in the way that you like carry yourself and like your style and like what you wear, but I love it. I love it. I'm like she's not your average showgirl. She's really not. She's not. But I love it, and I think that's what
down to even things like makeup.
Yeah,
my mom wore makeup. I've seen my mom put makeup on 6 times in my life. Yeah, none of my siblings wear makeup. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's just our type of style. I don't know how to say it, but like she was never that, you know, oh my God, you need to be.
But how does that roll into affection though? Or is that just something separate?
No, that was just something separate.
Okay, got it. But you know what? But I think it just makes you like who you are. I don't know if I can imagine you with a full beat face.
Yeah, and like doing all the prissy stuff.
No, and it's nothing wrong with it. And I definitely think you could, if you wanted to switch it up and throw them off, you definitely could. I just don't see that for
Those
you.
Crazy times.
I just don't see that for you as Jada.
No.
Not my friend Jada. You know what I mean? Like,
just very, very, very comfortable. That's what I can say. Our upbringing was just very comfortable. Like, kind of come as you are type of thing. Yeah. Like, don't force anything. Right. Don't be fake. Yeah. Like, it was a real raw, uncut family. Yeah. That I came up to be within.
And that makes sense. Oh, y'all see my shirt? Do y'all see my shirt? Oprah Winfrey Show. I'm getting into it. Watch this. That makes sense. In some of your like communication style and things like that. And remember we were talking and it was like, you kind of got to just, you know, kind of ask it and cater it to a way of like the person that you're talking to and you're communicating to. Yeah. And you say sometimes you struggle with that of just like not sugarcoating it, but thinking that far into it of, okay, let me say this in the right way that this person's going to receive this in the correct way. And we went to school for communication, so we know how to do it. Yeah. But it just, if it's not first nature for you, first nature, second nature, which one is it?
One of the natures.
One of the natures. If it's not in the nature, National Geographic, you know, it's a little bit harder for you to implement because you just say it. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying, because there's some people that I know and I'd be like, that's just way too raw. Okay, bring it back.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a blunt person, but I'm definitely an honest person.
But that comes from upbringing. Yes. That is where that stems from. And sometimes when we are brought up in environments and certain things, you know, we love, I either say you're either going to be exactly like your parents or you're going to be completely the opposite. You just are. And some things, and I think as individuals, like, oh, well, I'm this way because my parents this way. That's not true. If you realize that you are this way because of your parents, and whether it's a good trait or a bad trait, if it's a bad trait, you don't have to keep that. Yeah. I think we're like, oh, well, I'm proud of my parents, and this way my mom was or my dad was, so this is how I'm going to be. Not necessarily true, because if you're grown enough to understand that that's the way that you are because of that, you're also grown enough to unlearn that as well. You can do that. You're absolutely capable of doing that.
Just doing the work.
Doing the work and becoming whatever person that it is that you want to become. Your parents don't have it all figured out. Nobody handed them a book and say, hey, this is how you be a parent to Jada. Right. This is how you be a parent to Trey. They're figuring those things out, just like you said in the beginning, figuring those things out as well. So it's your responsibility, if it's not something that you love, that your parents implemented it in you, to unlearn those things or learn a different approach of doing those things. But I think that goes back to your upbringing, the way you just, you know, not you say your mom was assertive, but
yeah, she wasn't assertive. She wasn't like,
But y'all kept it real with each other.
Strict. I mean, I can't say they weren't strict, but like we kept it real with each other.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So in keeping it real with each other, that also follows your communication style and how you sometimes communicate with people. And you say, hey, this is something I need to work on. But that to me is mature when you realize of, okay, maybe I don't need to be communicating with this one in every way. Yeah. You know, maybe just some people I need to communicate with in this way. And learning how to improve that. Yeah. So. Ooh, I'm digging into it. It's the shirt, y'all. I think I should just wear this for the next
Oprah Winfrey episodes. Oh, so
10 episodes.
I can't even say because you're not in Hampton anymore. I don't know what type of
Oprah I am.
Yeah, Oprah.
I can't even. I'm wearing this in honor of you. I can't even say that I am an Oprah.
Richmond Oprah.
Now I will dig in some questions. Maybe we call me the Dr. Phil of Norfolk.
Dr. Phil of Norfolk and the Richmond Oprah. We need to do a skit.
Yeah. I think we should get shirts made.
We might actually get canceled for that. Actually get canceled if we do a skit like that.
Oprah's bank account.
It was something else I wanted to kind of touch on when it came to parent styles.
See? I'm throwing you off right there. I didn't throw you off right there. Sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. It's kind of the dichotomy between my mom and my dad. Yeah. Just like I said, they were older. Yeah. Sorry, we're old. I mean, y'all are old. And that just is what it is.
Love you guys.
And what comes with that is their energy. You do not have a lot of energy for a lot of the things too. Yeah. Like going to different places all the time and stuff like that. I didn't miss out on anything. Right. But also at the same time, when I was 10, they were 50. Right. Yeah. So like having a fun weekend with them was going to the mall instead of doing some things that normal kids would do all the time.
And Jada lives in the mall, y'all.
I live in the mall.
She lives in the mall. I'm like, where y'all at? We at the mall. What y'all doing? We walking around the mall. Okay.
So yeah,
we might go to a couple malls today, maybe a couple outlets, go to Williamsburg.
I also said at the beginning of this episode, it's like I have 4 parents. Definitely true. So that's why I've been talking about my sisters a lot. Yeah. I account a lot of my makeup as a person to my sisters as well. The reason why I take importance, adhere to education is from my oldest sister. Yeah. She instilled that in me, like, you need to get your stuff together. Right. At least for that.
That's that type A.
Yeah. It's like, it at least has to be something good. Yeah. So that's something that was instilled in me since an early age. And then, like, everything from my music to the culture to the fashion to the style. My other sister. Like, everything from video games, anything. Right. Wrestling. Like, it was like anything that she did or liked, I was like, oh my God, I want to like that too. Right.
Yeah. Tell them about your first concert.
Oh yeah, my first concert. Shout out to Gervania. Seeing Chris Brown, Soulja Boy, and Bow Wow at the same time. Blew my mind.
How old were you?
8 years old.
That is so wild
night
to me.
Of my life.
That is so wild to me. That's so cool though.
That's just what it was. Yeah. And then it's another running joke. My older sister, she would have me in the stroller and stuff. Some of her friends were having kids. Yeah. She was like 21, 22 years old. I was in diapers at her college graduation. Yeah. So I would be her kid. Yeah. Yeah. So it's really cool seeing those and listening to those types of stories and relating it back to who I am now and why I'm so into music, why I'm so into fashion and things like that.
And how that all just brings it full circle for you. And that's why you stay in the mall. I never knew why you stayed in the mall, but now I know why you stayed in the mall.
That's why I stay in the mall. It's really comforting. It's very comforting.
And your parents took you to the mall. That was the day out.
Yeah. All of Darlene's sisters. Yeah. Where are we going? We're going to the mall.
Right.
And that's where we were at.
They stay in the mall. Stay dripped out.
So that's
every time I see Gervania, I'm like, that's a new pair of shoes, ain't it?
My mom just said that. I'm like, I don't have a lot of shoes. Do you have a lot of shoes? We all have a lot of shoes.
Them kicks be fire though. They be nice.
These are new shoes. These are new shoes.
We gonna put you in therapy or something.
But
a shopping problem. So I'm like, Jada, you have a problem. She's like, no, I don't. I'm like, when's the last time you bought something? She's like, last week, but that doesn't count because that was a hat. Ma'am. Yes, it does.
A hat really don't count.
Yes, it does. That is a piece of clothing that you put on your body.
Okay.
But it's okay. You can say that it's from your upbringing and your environment.
From my upbringing and my environment.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to touch base on. I keep on coming back to them being old, but y'all are old. And it was a sense of jealousy growing up too, because like they had a lot of experiences that I didn't have, like with my mom's mom.
Yeah.
And like she's like, oh my God, that really does bother you. And I'm like, yeah, it does, because it seems like everybody had a fun time, or have good memories from that time being at your mom's house.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't have it.
Yeah.
And like, you know.
Yeah.
Sad.
I definitely can say that, like, but I mean, I'm not gonna say you dodged a bullet here, but you may have dodged a bullet. And the reason I say that is because I know you said that you know, your grandparent, you know, your
my grandpa,
and that, you know, you lost him. I don't know how old you were.
It's about 10 or 11.
So you kind of understand, but not really at 10 or 11. But I'm sure for them, if they had such as a good time, as of a good time as they say they had with, you know, your grandmother, that they felt that when she was gone.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know you probably grieved a little bit as you were younger for your grandfather, but losing a grandparent and having that much fun and having that relationship with them is tough. It's hard. You know what I mean? And so I can say that I do have that experience, and I did have some great times, and it was a good time. My grandma had 5 kids.
Okay.
So every time we got together, it was like a mini family reunion. Like it was like that, and
it's like that to this day.
Yeah, and it's such a good time.
Darlene has like 7 siblings.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's such a good time, like when we all like get together and have fun or whatever. But I know they probably feel a little just missing piece with that, because that grandmother is the one that keeps everyone together, is the one that says, hey, come sit down and have a conversation, or y'all need to talk. Have you talked to your brother? Have you talked to your sister? Have you talked to your nephew? Have you talked to your niece? And she kind of is that glue, you know, that keeps everything together. So yeah, but I do get what you're saying. You probably, you know, missed out on some things, but I think everything happens for a reason, and you came into, you know, their lives at that reason for that specific time. Yeah. So, but it is tough. So while I know you wish you had it, that loss is also hard too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, I'm a family historian. I'm a historian in general. You know, I like history.
She does like history. Every time I talk to her, she talking about some type of book or some research, or it's did you know it studies that show? And I'm like, no, Jada, I did not know that, but thank you so much for bringing that to my attention.
I like it. It's good to know stuff like that.
But yeah, and speaking of grandmothers, that was somebody who had a really heavy influence, like just like on my life in general. My grandmother wasn't very, like, I know you mentioned like you never touched back on the affection piece.
Oh well, it's
before I go into that,
how can I really touch on it? Well, it kind of does relate back to what I was saying about my mom. I mean, I could kind of call them cold, but it's like, it wasn't, how could I put it? I didn't expect a lot of affection, and it was normal for me to, like, for us to just say hey to each other or whatever. Yeah. We weren't the family to have like dinners at the table all the time, and how was your day? Right. You know? Right. Yeah. And I knew some of my friends who did have a relationship with their parents like that, you know? Yeah. And maybe it does come from the boundaries that they set. Yeah. Like, okay, I can't really say a lot to you about what's going on at school, because half of the stuff that's going on at school, I'm not in, but the stuff that I'm hearing about is stuff that you don't want me to be in. So I can't even tell you about school. Yeah. Because I go to a middle crazy type of school.
Yeah. And see, that's similar to some of the things of like, I wish, like, just how you would like to have that conversation with your parents about those certain things, that I would want my kids to have those conversations with me about. But there were certain things that I was just like, absolutely not. I'm not gonna.
You don't even need to know about this.
Yeah. I'm like, they're talking about sex. Like, can we have a conversation about
crazy stuff?
Yeah, like, but I didn't feel comfortable, bringing that up, or like, how do you bring this up that somebody talked about, this at school? And so I gotta research that. I gotta be like, how do you be that open with your child of like where you can bring those things up and have that conversations, but still setting boundaries of like, hey, I'm not your friend, I'm your parent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so I definitely think that that's a role that played in that whole situation. Just me not being comfortable with letting them know different things that's going on in my everyday life, because I already knew the boundaries that we set within each other. Because they respected me as well as a kid.
Right. Yeah, this is true.
I'm not saying everything was peaches and cream, but
yeah, that's
just where it was when it came to the parenting communication that happened in the household.
Yeah, I'm not really like affectionate. You know this.
I know you're not affectionate.
But like, honestly, I don't know like 100% where it came from. I know like for like my grandmother, like I know definitely when we were younger, like we like lots of hugs and like kisses and things like that. But as I got older, like those things kind of just like wasn't as present.
I mean, but you're also a man.
Yeah, but men need love too.
They do.
Okay. But yeah, it just, and then to show it, and then so you guys were like, give me a hug, or I love you, and I'm like, oh, you love you too. Like I do love you, but it's just I don't know what that word. I'm just like saying it.
Yeah, that word trips you up. But I know why that word trips you up, though.
Oh, please break this down to me. I got my Oprah shirt on.
No, because like people loosely use it, and when you say it, you want it to have like real meaning behind it.
But that doesn't mean like I don't love you guys.
Right.
And I think too, and I said this to you guys, I think it's just ways that we like show up.
Exactly.
You know that I love you by
the different love languages.
Different love languages. And I show up for my friends. So, maybe it's, what's the one with the actions?
Acts of service.
Acts of service. I'm definitely going to be there. Definitely going to support you. You need words of encouragement. I'll definitely be there for you as well. I'm always going to, push you and cheer you on. But yeah, I just show up in different ways, and sometimes they don't be like the words for me and be like, I love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm different.
You are.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being different either.
Yeah, I'm a little different.
Are you different, or are you just another guy when it comes to that?
I'm definitely not your average guy.
Because black men, they have issues, a lot of issues when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, affection and like saying certain things and communicating, things like that. But I can't say that was something that was not present in my childhood.
Right.
Like
lots of love in my childhood.
It was like,
it just wasn't shown in the traditional way sometimes.
But even like for some men and them saying like, hey, you were taught to like not really show your emotions or whatever. I was an emotional child. When I would cry, they would say, why are you crying? And I had to explain to them why I was crying. But because of that, I feel like that made me a better communicator.
Yes.
So you're crying, you're emotional. What is the reason for why you are crying? And I'm sure that was also something for them as well. I'm crying because I feel this way. And I'm sure my parents also took that and reflected as well. Okay, maybe we could have done this differently or said that or differently or whatever. But I think that also taught me how to communicate deeply as well.
Yeah.
And then go to school to study communication. Just put that icing on top of the cake. Let's just make a nice little fondue right here. You know what I mean? Like, I think that also was an element as well. I didn't even realize that. See, we uncovering things as we sitting here talking about childhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's other things in my childhood, but I will not go into.
That is funny. I feel like if you ask some of my family members when I was like 5 to 10 years old, is Jada going to do anything where she has to talk for a living? They would probably say absolutely not.
Yeah, and just see the cards turn. And
it's very interesting.
Absolutely doing something with you talking. And
absolutely doing something. Spare time or full time. Definitely doing something where I have to communicate. And debunk different things, scenarios, people, conversations, anything around me.
Yeah.
With anything.
This is true.
Corporate jobs, not corporate jobs, everything. I always have to freaking talk.
Yeah. Did you feel like as a child you had to have it together?
For certain people, it had to show up.
But for your parents?
For my parents, 75%. 75%.
Yeah. What did that look like for you, or how did that expectation feel?
Let's see.
It's the side for me. It's the Oprah shirt.
Just trying to really look back at what that looked like.
Yeah.
Well, there was a year where I didn't do well with one class. And my mom definitely let me know, you need to get it together.
Yeah.
They definitely seen that I wasn't the typical kid, but also that school was a little easy for me in a sense. So I would say that they were kind of more on the stricter side when it came to school. Like a couple of C's, it depended on what C's were, and she wanted to know all the details on the C's and how the C's happened when that did happen in the marking period. So they did have expectations on me academically. Yeah. But when it came to everything else, they didn't really have to push me, because if I was already passionate about it, like soccer was one thing that I was really passionate about it. I'm nonstop. I'm gonna until I get good, I'm not gonna put the damn ball down. Yeah. Yeah. And that goes into all the music extracurriculars, all of the instruments that I learned how to play, and eventually become drum major. Like that was like a 2-year experience. Going back to our first episode, like people just see the overnight success, or oh wow, she got chosen for this, that. No, it was practice, and a lot of practice in my backyard. Yeah. My backyard has seen me in so many different stages of my life, practicing, trying to perfect different things. Yeah. Yeah.
So more so academically.
Yeah, more so academically. They didn't have to really push me to through anything else. I wasn't a quitter. That wasn't in my vocabulary growing up.
Was that because of them, or was that because of you?
That was because of me.
Yeah.
Extracurricular wise, for sure.
If it was up to me, I would have quit. If it's something I don't want to do, and I'm not feeling it.
Other than I think I asked her, can I please stop singing? But other than
please stop singing, for Jesus. Can I please stop?
No, I tried to be the best that I could be in everything. Yeah. Especially everything that I did in high school. I wanted to fucking do that. Yeah. Oh my God, I cussed. I'm so sorry. That goes for anything. I can't believe it. Our radio program went to nationals for Quiz Bowl. You know what Quiz Bowl is?
No idea.
It's trivia.
That makes sense for you, Miss Historian.
It's trivia. Yeah. We went to the trade convention, Skills USA. Anybody who know Skills USA, it was some crazy trips. We went to nationals. The radio team, we made a Quiz Bowl team. They let us participate and represent my school. Wow. And we made it to the nationals.
That's cool. That is so dope.
It's crazy.
Quiz Bowl.
It's crazy, but that's goes to show.
I almost put together an event for Skills USA.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. What was it?
It was like their convention thing where they all showcase like their skills. Yeah, it was at the convention center.
What did you do?
What do you mean? They had to manage the event.
Oh, you had to manage the event. Oh, I thought you did it in high school.
No.
Oh, you managed
the event for them. Yeah.
It's a big thing. Yeah. People take it really serious. Yeah. But yeah, they did not have to push me at all when it came to that. But academics, I definitely got pushed.
Well, I will say for me, the expectation definitely was there to do well in school. Anything I'm doing, I had to. It might not have been an expectation, but it definitely just was pressure based off of conversations and different things and what my cousins had done. And
yes, I wanted to touch base on that.
Jesus Christ. you know, what their experience has been and them not doing the best, you know, somewhat, and let's not sugarcoat it, somewhat, them not doing the best,
right,
and not doing what they needed to do. And there's, because of that, my expectation was, hey, hi, you know, and just like in school, my first year of college, I was sick to my stomach because I didn't like school. I did not like school. I don't like school. We'll take that back. If it's something that I like, crisis communication, sales, any of those things that I was involved in my major and things that I was passionate about, public relations, I was good at those things because I wanted to do them. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, yo, I have to make sure that I'm on point, you know, for college, and making sure everything was aligned.
See, before then, within your family, how many people have graduated from 4-year program? Like your immediate family, like you the first one?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See,
traditional 4-year program. My parents, they did online classes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever. They both have
like
their
eventually they went to school.
Yeah.
But like out of college, you're the first one. Boom. I'm like the out of both
you know
sides.
What? I can't even say that. Somewhere along the line,
someone has went, but like I'm just talking about from
and people
your
in my
cousins,
in my
and then your aunts and uncles. Like, did any of them finish? Like that type of immediate family?
No.
Yeah, you see,
not that I know of.
Okay.
Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct him, please.
But not that I know of. Now there are other family members who are like, I don't even know how to go all the way that far. Please bring out the family tree. I'm sure that they did. I've seen people who've like went to college, but like not really. I don't even know what they are to be.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I say. Your immediate family or the family members that you know.
Yeah.
Now you say that, and for me, I'm probably like 17th.
Yeah, no.
Because on my dad's side, there's like nurse practitioners, some real smart people on my dad's side.
Yeah.
So.
And so that's also pressure as well, because you got nurse practitioners and people that went to college and they went and they did it and they were successful and they completed things, whatever. But I think you also have an example and people to look at to see as well. Yeah. I did not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I did it, and I don't know if I said it on this episode, it was the previous episode, but it took me an extra year for college. Yeah. But I also got a full-time job before I graduated college. So that was also like a plus too. And that was something that they were proud of. And it was like, hey, it's okay that you did not finish in 4 years. It took you 5 years to, you know, finish college. You have a full-time job. People go to school to get this, a full-time job, and you have one without even getting your degree.
Another note I have to say, Erica did not want me to go to ODU at all.
Did Erica go to ODU?
Yeah, okay. She graduated from there. She was like, please just do something different. And I came to the Administrators Day. T-shirts are falling from the sky. I'm going here.
Ice cream and cake.
Ice cream and cake.
It's a great day.
Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it? It was interesting.
I'm very hard to please.
I'm not going to say, but it wasn't pleasing. I was like, out of all the schools, okay, I'm going to have some fun.
You took me to a school that was, I'm not going to say the name. You took me to a school that was similar, and then I went to this school and I said, absolutely, this is what I'm going to do, because I cannot do that. So this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to go to Radford.
I got accepted there too, though.
I was going to go to, what if we would have went to Radford and start a little T&J at Radford? Can you imagine that?
We got to cross this out. You know what, the Radford?
You went to Radford. Oh. That would have been crazy. No, but just some of the things that we experienced on our first year of college. Or second year of college.
We probably wouldn't have survived.
Yeah, we probably would have been. I'm not gonna say that.
Fish grease.
I'm not gonna say that.
But back to the college thing, though.
Yes, the expectation was definitely there to do that, and you know, just some people just not making the best decisions. So the pressure definitely was on. Like, are you, you know, you're gonna finish college? Are you gonna, you know, go through with everything. And it's just always been that. And even my parents, people that they communicated with, they were on their kids and, you know, about just doing well and excelling and things like that. And, you know, do you see so-and-so's son? Do you see what they're...
Yeah.
That is pressure.
Yeah.
To do well and have it together. And I think we talked about that too.
Yep.
I do not have it together all the time. And I think I've recently started saying that and coming out with that. But I feel like for my parents, like, you better have that joint together. You know, like, you better have all your ducks in a row, because that is what you're used to. That is the norm. And I think that's translated into my adult life of having it together and having a plan and things like that. And I'm learning that it's okay not to have it together. It's okay not to know the plan and still figure it out. Like, you don't have to come together with this grand master plan or have the blueprint. You can still be walking through the blueprint but drawing it at the same time. Now that's a quote.
It is.
That is a quote. You don't have to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
And so that definitely was like pressure for me. And I even told my parents that. I'm like, I feel like I gotta have it together. And I think that for them made them feel proud, because it's like, okay, we pushed our son, you know.
He has the work ethic now.
He has the work ethic. He's, you know, he has the plan. He's going to go figure it out. But I'm like, yo, this is also pressure too, guys. But no, I appreciate them for it. I feel like, again, you're a product of your environment. It makes you who you are. But I'm also realizing, too, that it's okay not to have it together.
Yeah.
It's okay. And you ain't got to fake the funk either. If you ain't got it together, you ain't got it together. You can still figure it out. That don't mean I'm not going to figure it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Parenting.
We definitely went over time here.
Yeah, but it's fine. I'm trying to think of anything else that I left out that I wanted to kind of speak on when it came to parenting. Mm-hmm. Oh, shouts out to Mildred.
Big M.
Yeah. My niece and nephew call her their god grandmother. Just shouts out to her. She was definitely part of the village of raising Jada.
Yeah.
Shout out to all my aunts.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mildred gets a special shout out, and the only reason why Mildred gets a special shout out is because I'm probably gonna make her watch this episode.
Hi, Mildred.
Yeah, Mildred is awesome. She's the best. She's also addicted to shopping.
I think we realize the whole family is.
Yeah. And another fun fact, my grandfather lived with Mildred.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, every time I would go there, that's why we had such a great bond, because when they would be gone, probably to the mall.
Yeah.
And my sister and my other cousin would be gone. It'd be me and Grandpa.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great village that I grew up in. Yeah. Just a little more affection. That's the only thing that I can really say. Yeah. Other than that.
One thing that I will push for my kids is self-love.
Self-love.
And I'm not going to say... Love was definitely present in like my household and like for my parents and things, and like the way they brought me. But I think I said this when we were back doing the podcast. I don't know if anybody ever taught me like loving yourself. Yeah. And I think I like asked my sister, I'm like, hey, do you know what self-love is? And she's like, no, what is self-love? Like, she wasn't really familiar.
Affirmations, all of that stuff, it's not new terminology, but it's definitely something that's not really talked about that much in Black households.
Yeah.
Like, people can act like they're doing it now or they've been doing it, but no, it's not. Therapy is voodoo, weird, crazy. You're in the psych ward if you need to go to therapy. It's just a lot of things that are healthy for our minds just isn't translated within Black America. Yeah. And you can't just sugarcoat that. Like, oh yeah, no, Black people, I'm Black and I'm proud. Yes, but there are still things that we need to work on.
Yeah,
because just like you just said, oh my God, I'm going to teach my kid how to love themselves.
Yeah, because I don't think that
should be like the third thing.
Yeah, I don't think that was something that was like, hey, do you know what it means to love yourself, and this is how you show up for yourself, and this is what means that you love. I think we automatically have our parents love us, and I think we know what
it teaches us to be confident.
Yeah, I think we know what love is, but like when you leave home and you go off and you are an adult, you also need love then as well, right? And I think if you don't understand self-love and like how that operates and works, you be trying to catch love from anybody, and that's not good. So I think teaching self-love of like how to show up for yourself, or do you see how you just did this? That shows that you like love yourself and you care for yourself. Yeah. Like I don't know if that was ever like broken down to me in a book. So I definitely will be present, because I don't want my kids out here trying to receive love from just anybody. Not to say that that's what I was doing,
or in unhealthy ways.
Yeah, or unhealthy ways.
Because like
knowing what healthy love looks like.
Exactly. And I think you can have a great partner but still have really bad what is the word I'm looking for? Tendencies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is true. But yeah, I think that is definitely an important thing. That's at the top of my list. Yeah. Because if you know how to love yourself, you wouldn't be accepting love from or parents, what you think is love.
Parents are having these conversations with their kids like at 20. It's like, what? Did you get a birds and bees talk?
I don't think I actually got like the talk. Actually, I think it was prom night that I got that talk.
They're so cliche.
Yeah.
They gave it to you prom night?
They gave it to me prom night.
Yeah.
And it was my dad. They gave it to me prom night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so prom, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a hotel room. Everybody else was getting a hotel room. I was like, I'm gonna get a hotel room, and I did. And
I had no interest in doing any of that with those people. I was so happy. I wasn't. We had a week left.
I wasn't being fast though.
Yeah.
I was not being fast.
Just I promise
you, I was not. I was not being fast.
Yeah.
And like my dad, like he put these in my. He was like, "Okay, son, so you know what these are?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, so you got to make sure you protecting yourself." So do you not? Do you? I don't think the question was like, do you know how to put this on? I'm like, yes, I do.
It's like the love don't cost a thing. Steve Harvey, like, bruh, like a million condoms.
Bruh, yeah. I think that was the conversation that was had, but nothing was more in depth like that conversation after. Was that my first year in college or second year in college? Of when I had that conversation with my parents and like came out to them.
That was your first year.
It was my first year in college?
That was your first year.
No, it was not.
It was.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it was.
It was your first year.
Because I made a video.
Yeah.
That's so me to do that.
Yeah.
Make a video.
It was definitely first year.
It was a private video. But yeah, when they had a conversation and like came out to them and whatever, like that was pretty in depth. Yeah.
Oh, and then they kind of, they gave you a.
Well, it wasn't like
you guys had a good open dialogue on.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty deep. But it wasn't like a. Do you know about this? You know, like it was stuff I already knew, but it was just me sharing those things with them because I hadn't shared it with them yet.
Right.
So yeah, but that was probably like my most in-depth conversation about just like the birds and the bees and sex. Yeah. Did you have a conversation?
No.
Oh. Do you feel like you missed out on that because you didn't have a conversation?
No. Like I just didn't really need that.
And I'm wondering.
I mean, and I can't say that I didn't need that. Every parent should talk to their kid about sexual health, contraceptives, all of that.
Yeah.
That is very, very important conversations that you should have with your children.
Right.
But back to the relationship that I had with Darlene and Jerry.
Yeah.
We knew what was up.
You did, but like
we kind of knew what was up, and like if something really bad happened to me, I knew that I could come to them, and it was up. Yeah. So I can't really.
Do people even do that anymore? Please let me know. Did your parents have a conversation with you about the birds and the bees, or was it just
it's happening more frequent now? It's happening way more frequent. You know, these
here goes the historian.
Millennial parents, it's research out there. They're having more conversations.
I told you, she goes right to the research
with their kids. Yeah, so it's definitely something that's happening with kids now. The kids now, it's going to be like literally heaven and hell. Like they're going to be so observant, so great, because they're going to get a lot of the stuff that we're talking about that we missed out on.
Yeah,
the parents are going to instill that in them, but this is going to be the death of them.
Yeah,
these are going to be the death of them.
Yeah.
Because their attention span is fried. Yeah. There's no more, writing papers. And then they're going to try to chat GBT it up. And teachers already have stuff to check the chat GBT. So what you going to do now?
Tell the chat GBT.
Fail.
Tell the chat GBT make it so it don't look like it's chat GBT.
So, but yeah, I don't think we needed to have it. But then again, I also knew that if it was something that serious, I was comfortable enough with telling them something like that. Yeah. I did not have a birds and the bees talk. I didn't have a lot of conversations. I feel like we should have had a rundown before I went to Old Dominion University, founded in 1926. Is it 26 or 36? I don't know.
Here she go, historian.
I feel like we should have had the whole full conversation of, oh my God, you're on your own now, and this, that, and the third.
Be responsible.
All of that. Yeah. But they probably felt like they didn't have to do that. They're like, oh yeah, you're ready for this.
And
I'm like, yeah, I am ready for this.
And you had older sisters.
Yeah.
So they probably was like, okay, they probably have talked to her about it or had a conversation, and what you don't know, and sometimes this happens with me and my sister. Your mom may have had a conversation with your sister to prompt a certain conversation or see if that conversation's already been had, and then may have not needed to have that conversation. Hey,
a lot of that probably could have been happening and going on.
Yeah,
definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes
they send the older siblings to pick the brains.
Yeah.
FYI, I know you don't know that, but
I didn't know that.
You don't know? Now you know.
But yeah, we didn't have any conversations. I just knew not to act like a nutcase.
Yeah.
And represent the Carson name.
Yeah, well, that's good. There's so many things that I could have went into and got even deeper about on this episode.
Yeah. Kind of let you off easy for another one.
You did.
Episode 3. Do you want to see Trey cry? It's so bad to say.
Okay. But yeah. That's it. We're wrapped for that.
I think we're wrapped for that. Well, it's been a second episode.
Yeah.
TJ's Child's Play.
It's been beautiful. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, and
rate
subscribe.
Us on the Apple Podcasts and the Spotify and wherever else that you are listening, which I'm sure that we will be. And we will see you guys next week.
Goodbye, everyone.
Peace.